Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. Today's riff lesson is on My Sharona by the Knack. Now this is great for practicing playing in octaves and also short, sharp, kind of aggressive playing that we like from the sort of 70s rock stuff that we cover on the channel. This is part of my Riffmas series, which is a competition I'm running in December of 2025, where you've got the chance to win a couple of TC electronic pedals, or I'm even giving away this Enya carbon fibre guitar. If you head to the first link in the description and read the description, it'll tell you all about the competition and how you can enter it if that's what you if you fancy a go. It's really cool. We have a go at this every year. It's a great way of bringing guitarists together, and you can win some cool stuff as well. If you head to the second link in the description, you can that'll take you to my website, and you can download the sheet music that I use for this lesson completely for free. It's from my website. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't even have to give me your email address. You literally go on the website and click download PDF. I'd encourage you to do this and follow along with a pencil. It's really going to help you. So let's get into it. We'll talk about tones and stuff later on. Let's just get into the meat and potatoes. This is what I want you to learn to play today. Such a cool riff. You can't not play this. You can't not smile while you're playing this. Right, so let's break it down into chunks then. So it's all predominantly around a G bar chord shape. So what I want to do with my index finger, I'm going to play the 3rd fret twice. Now, rather than fretting the chord, I'd like you to play each note as it comes up, and it keeps that sort of choppy, kind of to the point rhythm, okay? So we're going to do 2 downstrokes on the low E string, 3rd fret with the index finger. Now, personally, I like to use my pinky here, but you could use your ring finger and I won't be mad. We've got this, what we call octave, which is if I play the G major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I move through the entire scale and I'm playing the next G in the sequence. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, Do, Re, Mi, okay? But what I want you to do is I'd like you to practice playing the lower G on the 3rd fret twice, and then up to the higher G on the 5th fret of the D string. And it's in quavers, 1 and 2 and... So you've got 2 of each, followed by 1 of each. But can you see how the sheet music underneath, they're not joined up of these two. It's just a straight line. These are called quavers. So they last for the same amount of time, as in but you're just playing 1 note instead of 2. So you're going to go. But can you see how I'm only playing the notes when I need them? I'm not doing this. Sounds like, I can't remember, it's a Sex Pistols tune, isn't it? You want that staccato. If you're not playing it, take your finger off it. Now, I should have mutes, I should have rests littered throughout all of this, but I feel like it'll just make it harder for you to learn how to play. Moving into the 2nd bar, we repeat the single strokes of each note. And then we're going to play 2 lots of the low G, followed by 1 high G. Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba. Let's tackle this 1st bar first. And then the 2nd bar. All together. Pause the video and get that under your fingers. This is the first of 2 bits. If you're feeling fairly confident, let's have a look at the other bit. Now, what we're going to do, we're actually going to kick out of that 3rd fret down to the 2nd fret and slide into it. Can you see how I move my finger down to that 2nd fret? I pick the string and I'm keeping the pressure on the fretboard, but I'm dragging my finger from the 2nd fret into the 3rd fret. And then I'm going to pick it 1 more time. It's almost like it's that kind of vibe, isn't it? Followed by 2 more high Gs. Followed by 1 of each. So you see how we're alternating between groups of 2 and groups of 1? We'll come back to this in a second. Let's talk about these. I call these upside down power chords, okay? With my ring finger, I'm going to bar the 5th fret of the D and the G string. And I'm going to play it twice. Ba, ba. Oh, sorry, 3 times. And can you see how I'm barring that with the ring finger? I'm playing it 3 times. Now you can either slide your finger down, or what I tend to do is bar with my index finger on the 3rd fret of the D and the G. To get that kind of turnaround. And the whole thing sounds like that. Pause the video and get that under your fingers. See if you can play that for me. Right then, so tones wise, let me take a picture on. I'll put it over the screen. I'm using the crunch channel on the Boss Katana Mark II. Now I'm using quite a lot of treble and quite a lot of mid frequencies, and that sort of gives it that nasal kind of sound that the record's known for. Plenty of reverb, but other than that, it's more just the attitude. Now I'm using a Gibson Les Paul today. I'm not saying that you need a Gibson style guitar to play this, but out of the guitars that I've got down here today, this is what I was getting the best sound out of, and I was using the bridge pickup. And you want this nasally kind of raspy. If I play the neck pickup that's a little bit rounder sounding, it loses all its attitude. And I think what you need to think of is as well, it's not just the guitar tone, it's not just the right settings of the equipment. I'm actually playing the guitar quite aggressively as well. I can play with the back pickup and all the right settings, but if I'm only tickling it, have a look at this. If I'm only tickling it, it sounds like the song, but it doesn't have the aggression. And that's what I feel like a lot of 70s rock stuff did really well. You know, you think of like Paul Kossoff or Richie Blackmore and those guys. They weren't afraid to dig in, and the music definitely got a little bit angrier as a result of it. So what did you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like me to do a full lesson on this song. It's an absolute classic, but I think we all kind of think it's a lot shorter than it actually is. The original recording's like 5.5 minutes long, and it's got a mega solo in it. So let me know down below if you'd like me to do a deep dive on it, and I can absolutely look into that for you. Also, don't forget to head to the description and check out, if you want to take part in Riffmas, we'd love to have you over on the Facebook page. It's a really good time, and you can win some cool stuff as a result of it. Check that out, and I will see you in a couple of days for the next instalment. Thank you very much for watching.